Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. I wanted to record my raw notes for Saturday, December 3rd. So first thing I wanted to figure out was where were the jobs, right? We got a jobs number, I think it was 263 on an expectation of 200, wages up, all of that. So here's where the jobs were. Leisure and hospitality, as you would expect, at least I did, to come in the highest at 88,000. Healthcare, 68,000, kind of makes sense. Government, 42,000. I don't know about you, but I think government's big enough, but hey, that's just me. Construction, 20,000. That's a little surprising, I think. IT, technology, 19. Manufacturing, 14,000. So who lost? Who lost jobs? Retail, down 30,000. Kind of surprised me, I will admit, right? We're heading into the holiday season. Retail down 30,000. Transportation, also down 15,000. So pretty interesting. The 10-year note was interesting. All right. The 10-year note, when they got the jobs number Friday morning, raced higher. However, it ended below 3.5%. The 2-year note, I think from memory, I did not write this down, I think is about 4.4, I think. 1-year note, I think is a little bit higher, 4.5. Right. There's a lot of talk about the Fed going to where the 2-year is. But I will have you know that the 10-year is at 3.5. And, I wonder when mortgage rates might be coming down to that trigger point. I think mortgage rate sub 6 creates a nice floor under housing, and transactions will actually tick up. This was really one of the things I had to figure out. Remember, we talked about the first phase of the housing crash being demand destruction, the second one being supply destruction. And I put a date on that of March 15th, right, for step 3. One of the things we talked about was, where will interest rates be? I think we've seen peak interest rates. I don't think this call for 10% mortgage rates is reasonable. I think it is far likely that we see sub 6 before we see 10. So that is interesting. Another thing I dug into is the hourly wage. It seems to be accelerating. Again, one of the things I have been talking about is wage inflation. Remember, it's important. My thoughts on inflation, I think, are important. I think there's an easy component, which is stuff, commodities, lumber, gas, oil, shirts, clothing, stuff, physical things. I think that's coming off the boil, and coming off the boil quickly. I think there's hard. I think that's housing, rent. I think that's slow. And then there's the really, really hard. That's wages. That's structural changes, moving manufacturing out of China to other parts or even onshore. I think we're going to have years of inflation sort of very sticky at 4%. So again, there's easy or stuff, which I think comes off the boil quickly, probably as soon as March. There's hard, think housing. And then there's the really, really hard, think wages. So I haven't changed my opinion. I think that is very important to understand. Goldman Sachs is out there warning that their bonus pool for their finance folks is going to be potentially at least 10% smaller. Their bonuses will be 10% less this year. So everyone is feeling it. Meet Kevin. I got a couple of notes on this. Meet Kevin put out a video, I think it was Friday, might have been Saturday, talking about the Fed cutting rates 500 basis points, basically taking rates back to zero. Short of a pandemic, a world war, something of that nature, black swan, I don't see it. I believe what we are seeing in calls like that is kind of recency bias. Again, a lot of the research you and I have done on this channel has talked about the 1970s. I think any data from 1980 to today doesn't appreciate what's going on with inflation. Again, we just talked about easy, hard, and really hard. You don't fix hard or really hard with zero rates. In fact, you probably accentuate inflation in stuff. So no, a couple of you asked for me what I thought. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Oh, I did write down the 2-year. So the 2-year is at 4.28. I don't know what I said in the previous video. It said 4.28. I think the 1-year is like 4.5. So there's a lot of talk about that's where the Fed will go. I think we get our 50 basis points the week after next, on the 13th, I think, or 14th. So we're going to go there. I read an article about 35% of millionaires say it will take a miracle to be ready for retirement. Savings won't cut it, right? There's this mythical 4% rule. Well, if you're a millionaire in stocks and you do the 4% rule, that's a whopping 40 grand a year. That's $3,000 a month. I don't know about you, but that's rough. Some earnings next week. We got AutoZone and Toll Brothers on Tuesday. We got Jack Daniel's Distillery on Wednesday, Costco and Lululemon on Thursday. I think the big economic news of next week will be PPI, which comes out Friday, consumer sentiment as well as inflation's expectations. We have to watch inflation expectations because consumers and their expectations have the ability to kind of create it themselves. So that'll be important. Don't forget also the weekly update on initial jobless claims. That is going to be kind of our earliest indicator. Home sales. This is from Realtor.com. Realtor.com says home sales can plunge in 2023. Again, folks, you and I have been talking about this for 6 months. I think Bank of America did it in yesterday's video. Now Realtor.com. We've been talking about this for 6 months. Realtor.com thinks that home sales will plunge in 2023. Again, I ask, where were you 6 months ago? I don't get it. But they also are calling for a price gain of 5.4% in 2023. I honestly don't see that either. I think price gains will be, again, plus or minus 1%. I haven't changed my opinion. And then finally, Citigroup is talking about a global recession in 2023. So, folks, have a wonderful day. That is my raw notes for Friday and Saturday. Again, remember, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time is an amazing course. I am uploading parts of my mastermind session for free. You can find it in the bonus session. Remember, once I'm done uploading this, the price of the course goes up. It will be $399 shortly. So buy it today, save yourself $80. Join the Facebook group too. Again, join the Facebook group, introduce yourself, get around thousands of other amazing people doing the work every day. You won't be disappointed. Take care. Bye-bye.